Well, you mentioned one word to that can close the gap. I've got three letters that can help close the gap, and that's NIL. Because you can't sit on the sideline and just not do anything. And it sounds like they're kind of working on that, but you, I mean, you just can't. Like you can't. It's a brand new landscape, and you can't just sit back and do nothing. A lot have been made of Texas A&M and their class and the NIL deals and things like that. Whatever the case may be, they haven't done anything wrong, and it seems clear that they are dishing out some NIL deals. It seems that way. I could be wrong, but that is what it seems like. They haven't done anything wrong, but they are I mean, you look at the class that they are bringing in versus the class of everyone else, but obviously we're talking about Michigan. It makes a difference. And we talked about this last week or a couple weeks ago, but if I'm looking at two elite level schools, let's say Texas A&M and Michigan, and it's pretty close as far as the things that I want, that I think both of these schools can get me, right? Basically a path to the NFL. If I can get there with both, but one school is going to pay me whatever, let's say $50,000 a year via an NIL deal, and one school is not. Well, I mean, that makes it really hard to not to choose the school that's not going to pay me anything, when the avenue in my path is going to be the same. If I'm an elite defensive end, I can go to Texas A&M, and I'm pretty sure they're going to develop my talent. They've put defensive ends in the NFL, and I know I will develop and get the coaching that I need, right? Nutrition program, all that good stuff. And I will get the same things at Michigan that I know I can go there. I can play in big games. I know I can. They've put defensive ends in the NFL. I know I'll get the coaching, develop nutrition. Everything is exactly the same, but this one will pay me 50 grand a year and this one won't. I mean, that you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. So granted, you don't want to, the goal is not to just buy this kid or what, you know what I mean? Whatever. I think for most kids, it's not going to be a highest bidder, but when it comes to it, I think it matters. I think it matters. So that is something that also can help close the gap when you're talking about, trying to get to that next level. And maybe it's not, you get five stars, maybe you get two, but those two that you have are game changers and program changers. A lot of times that's all you need to get to that next level.
It's about changing perception, too. And you kids see what happens to other kids in front of them, right? If you're a 5-star receiver, why do you think Ohio State gets so many 5-star receivers, right? Because Ohio State is a machine. They recruit these kids, they play at a high level, they perform, they get the stats, they get the film, and then they get drafted to NFL. It's not just an emotional decision, it's a transactional, it's a business decision. That's what a lot of these highly ranked kids are making, business decisions. If you are a defensive end, there's only a few places that you want to go. You want to go to Ohio State, you want to go to Alabama, you want to go to Georgia, right? Because that's where you see the kids that look just like you, they have the rankings like you do. You see how their career and their career trajectory is working out for them, and you want to follow suit. And then you add on top of that, now there are certain financial incentives in the moment that you can get right away. Oh yeah, it makes that decision even easier. So those are the factors that Michigan is working against them. You have to continue to, and they've done a good job of that. I'm not saying they haven't, but you have to continue to change that. Seeing a kid like Donovan Edwards, who I believe was a 4-star running back, become, and Blake Corum, seeing them possibly, like you've seen Hassan Haskins, seeing those kids get to have great college careers, get to the NFL, you know what? It helps you get in the door for those maybe 5-star running backs now, right? Maybe you're able to get more of them on your campus. You obviously love to run the football. That's good for them, right? Because especially as a running back nowadays, look, if you have, you're going to be running back the rest of your career, you're like, well, I need to get drafted as high as possible in the NFL because I might not get another contract. So that first contract, we were just talking about Kerryon Johnson. We joke about him. That's, I think, as Lions fans, me and Dez, like, the dude was a 2nd-round pick out of Auburn. He literally is out of football after his rookie contract. I don't
even think he finished his rookie contract either.
He would finish it. So it's like, Yeah, you want to get in the first round. You want to get your best chance possible to get drafted as high as you can. So that was kind of a tangent, but I'm just saying, like, all these things matter. It is a business. It's not just a. That's why I get so upset when I see Michigan, like guys like Ward Manuel and Harper talk about what it's a transformative experience, not just a transactional or something like that. Like, no, it needs to be both. This is a business decision for these kids. Well, great, yeah, we're a Michigan man, yeah, but that's only a small part of their life, and like they're not thinking about just that. They're all thinking about they're trying to play in the NFL. That's what it's about. They're trying to win in college and get to NFL as soon as they can. So you have to think like that. You have to think as a business. It's not just as a. You have to separate the university and your football program. Football needs to be number one. Winning and football has to be the number one priority, and making sure you're doing everything you can to be successful in that. Like, yeah, well, Michigan, we're a great academic school. We have all these values. That's all good and well, and I'm not asking you to do anything illegal. Do everything within legal bounds to make sure you are successful. And I'm not saying that they're not, but I would not be able to accept anything less. And that's what I asked for them to do. If it takes playing and figure out ways to get more involved in NIL and maybe it's finding more deals for these kids for all the different type of boosters that you have from alumni, then do that. You need to be able to leverage that. Look what MSU is doing with United Mortgage or United Shores Mortgage with what's the guy from MSU? He's the owner of that. Why am I drawing a Ispia? Matt Ispia. He's an alumni MSU. He donates on campus. He's I don't know, man. It's just he's helped create these deals for MSU athletes. Like all that stuff matters, man. I just want them to do whatever they can to win as much as they can on the field. I don't accept falling in second or third place because we have some kind of moral superiority. That doesn't matter to me, right? So, and I will hope the rest of the fan base feels the same way. We all want to feel good on Saturdays, so do what you gotta do to get that done.